Good morning, everybody. Just going to wait for some of our friends to join us this morning. I'm Aisha Morales. Good to see you. Hopefully you had a good and safe 4th of July holiday. And if you're off today, we do have some of that rainy weather that First Alert Weather has been mentioning. Bo Fogel was in for Steve this morning on Action 2 News this morning, in case you missed that. And you can get all of that information on WBAY.com. But I am here to actually give you a recap from all of the First Alert Safety Desk stories that we covered throughout the week. And I was not here yesterday, so Kristen Allen was in covering for me and did a couple of great stories as well with regards to safety on 4th of July. But we've done plenty of other stories this week that I want to show you. So we're going to just go ahead and actually use our website this morning. I do have to be back on the air in a little bit here, just before Action 2 News mid-morning, and then I will see you on the air and right here if you'd like, digitally streaming on WBAY.com or wherever you're watching from. That's at 9 o'clock. But for now, let's scroll and see some of the bigger stories that we covered from the First Alert Safety Desk. First and foremost, I think this one is really important to talk to you about right away, this slow no wake declaration on the Wolf River. So we've been talking about this recent rain, so much rain and high water along the Wolf River, not to mention the fact that there's been some advisories with beach bacteria or water bacteria, E. coli in parts of the area. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. But if you click this link right here, the National Weather Service showing those conditions over at the Wolf River near New London. So if you click that, Winnebago County, they've declared again, as I said, that slow no wake. But I think what's most important, and first and foremost, I should also say that the flood emergency, that's really impactful. That is for the Wolf River from the mouth of Lake Poygan to the northern county line at Rat River. So those two areas that you see right here in yellow with the yellow box, if you can kind of pick up on that, I can zoom in a little bit further. This is the Shiocton and then New London. Both have those higher water level concerns. And because of the rain that we're expecting, we probably will see this for the next little bit. NWS observing those water levels, saying that you just need to be careful with those high waters, but boaters definitely keep in mind that slow no wake declaration in Winnebago County. It requires you to slow down and prevent creating any sort of wake within 500 feet of any structure that's in the area. But again, we will keep following this. This is something that we'll be monitoring, and we do have on our website with this story, we do have a phone number, which is 920-235-7488, and that phone number, it's on the website, and if you missed it, that is where you need to call for the current status of any emergency slow no wake declaration in Winnebago County. If you're somebody who uses a boat in that area, that is probably very good for you to check before you head out. So that one was a really good story that we covered today, actually, on Action 2 News this morning. There was another one, and I might have to dig a little bit deeper for that one because I do want to show you all this person's photo. It's a wanted man right here. Man awaiting trials for child sex assault escapes GPS monitoring. So with this story, and I'm going to wait for the video to kind of come up because officials are looking for this man, and that is why we're still following up on that. And I decided to have the content on the First Alert Safety Desk because it is a public concern. This man is someone that officials want to get a hold of and find because they said that Michael Bullock, who's 41, oh, there it is. I'm going to try to pause it, actually, if I can. There's that information on the screen right here. Make it a little bit bigger. And close that. There we go, hopefully. There we go. Okay, so this man right here, 41-year-old Michael Bullock, removed a GPS monitoring device in violation of his bond, is what officials say. He was free on $40,000 bond, and a jury trial in Oconto County was scheduled actually for the end of this month. He was last seen, as you see right here, in Suring on Monday. Officials are not sure if he has access to a vehicle, But if you see or know anything, call 920-834-6900. Again, the record showing that he removed this GPS monitoring device. He's got those charges for child sexual assault. He's also got charges in Kewaunee County, from what I understand. If you see him, call 911. Do not approach him, though. Obviously, let officials, law enforcement take care of that. But you can call 911 right away so that they know where this man is. Again, they are looking for 41-year-old Michael Bullock, who you see right here on your screen. And we'll keep you posted with a first alert if we know anything or hear anything. But let's go ahead and check any other stories. There were quite a bit with fireworks safety, avoiding 4th of July injuries, which were great, in driving sober, which obviously is really important year round. 4th of July, things really ramp up. Here's the bacteria at beaches if you're going to be swimming. I know the weather's been kind of gross the last season, but we do have this really great information for you to check for beach closings. If you go to the safety desk tab, you can check before going swimming to see the bacteria levels. And if we zoom in, and we still have some of them on the western shore of Lake Winnebago right here. See those orange little hazard signs? So when you click on those, they do say beach health detail, and then it says elevated bacteria. So elevated bacteria, that is the advisory in parts of Lake Winnebago, and then let's see, which one is this? Lake Butamore. Not so much over here in Lake Winneconne, so that's good. Lake Butamore does have one over here near the boat landing right there. But you know, if somebody or even an animal like your dog ingests this bacteria or this water with that bacteria, there is a chance that you could get very sick. It's like food poisoning. It is not fun and definitely dangerous for the younger kiddos and for your pets. So if you're going to be swimming, especially with the fact that we have environmental things that are happening with the rain really picking things up, and that does cause some of it to elevate, that is something that you definitely want to check before you head out the door, before you have a swimming adventure with your family. So take a look at that before you go. Another story that I want to go to, and I'm going to go back again, we're going to just use our First Alert website, WBAY.com, because everything is right there. We've covered a lot of this. There's this really great story about new guidelines to prevent falls. Wisconsin is, gosh, is it the deadliest or one of the deadliest, I believe? Let me double check that. Yeah, more older adults die in Wisconsin from falling than any other state. So these new federal guidelines may help lower the risk. A lot of it is exercise, individual exercise, a routine program for older people, really trying to strengthen them physically, and so that they aren't so much at risk of falling. And falling for a lot of older people can really be disastrous and a domino effect of injuries and worse. So take a look at that. If you know somebody who's older, if you yourself are at risk of falling, look at that and talk to your doctor about some of those options, about getting yourself on a program that can strengthen your muscles and all of that. I'm going to close this right there. Another great story, how homeowners can be ready before a flood. Obviously, we've been seeing a lot of that rain. If you shop at Costco, and maybe this was already last week, but this one was a good one. We actually had our Tammy, Elliott. She said her daughter has this portable charger from Costco, which was at a risk of causing a fire. I think it just does too much, and it was recalled. So take a look at that if you shop at Costco or if you bought something like that at Costco. So take a look at that. Other than that, those bigger stories that I mentioned right off the top with the slow no wake, but also the man that is wanted. Those are really important stories that I wanted to get to and tell you about this morning, because they are impacting our community as we speak right now. We will be back on the air for Action 2 News mid-morning at 9 a.m. and we'll bring you any first alerts that we get as far as some of those stories. If we hear anything about an update or if that man who is wanted is found, of course we will send you a push alert if you want to get the Action 2 News app. And stay tuned to First Alert Weather. I think so many of these stories these days, at least for First Alert Safety Desk, is also impacted by weather, and our safety is there too. So keep in mind, we always have the latest on WBAY.com as well, but those push alerts are very helpful if you're in the area and you want to know the latest of what's going on. So I will see you back on the air here in a little bit for Action 2 News, mid-morning at 9 a.m. Again, I hope you had a very good 4th of July holiday and have a safe weekend that's coming up, and enjoy the day tomorrow, where we're actually going to see some more dry conditions on Saturday, it sounds like. But Bo, again, is going to have the latest on your forecast for Action 2 News mid-morning, so stay tuned for that. Have a great weekend.